There's a truth hiding inside you, a truth so sharp, so dangerous, and you've built your entire life around avoiding it. And here it is. You are not trapped by your circumstances. You are trapped by your refusal to be honest. We all do it. We smile when we're breaking. We nod when we want to scream. We convince ourselves we're fine, when deep down something is aching for air. But what if that ache was your freedom trying to speak? What if the prison you feel isn't made of what's around you, but what's inside you? In this world, we're taught to wear masks. Be polite, be nice, don't rock the boat, don't say what you really think. And slowly, something begins to die. We trade truth for comfort. We trade our soul for silence. But deep beneath the pretending, there's a voice you've been ignoring. It doesn't shout, it whispers, and it's asking just one thing. Tell the truth, even if it hurts. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Your freedom doesn't come from fixing your life, it comes from facing it. And the moment you dare to speak what's real, even if it shakes your world, is the moment you begin to wake up. No one chooses to live in a lie, but somehow, we all end up there. It starts early. A child cries and is told to stop. A dream is laughed at and is buried. A question is asked and is ignored. So we learn. Hide the real. Show only what's safe. This is where self-deception is born, not out of weakness, but out of fear. The mind is clever. It builds walls. It tells stories. It creates versions of ourselves that the world will accept. Psychologists call this the ego. Carl Jung called it the mask. Spiritual teachers call it illusion. But whatever you call it, it's a cage built out of our own thoughts. We say we're fine when we're lost. We say we're happy. When we're numb, we say we're in control. When we're falling apart. But here's the truth. We lie to ourselves. Because we think the truth will destroy us. But the truth doesn't destroy you, the lie does. In Eastern philosophy, they speak of Maya, the great illusion, a world made of appearances, a self made of shadows. But within all illusion, there is always a doorway, and it opens the moment you stop running. The lie may feel safer, but it costs you your soul. And the truth may burn, but it sets you free. Now we arrive at the turning point, the moment where the road splits. Lie or truth? Most people choose the lie because it's easier, because it's quieter, because it lets them stay asleep. But the few who choose the truth, even when it cuts, they find something else entirely. They find freedom, not the kind sold on. Billboards, not the kind that needs permission, but the kind that lives deep in your chest, calm, steady, untouchable. What is ruthless honesty? It's not cruelty, it's not blame, it's clarity. It's the voice inside that says, I can't do this anymore. I'm not who I pretend to be. I want something real. That kind of honesty is terrifying because it destroys illusions. But what if the illusions deserve to be destroyed? Zen monks speak of direct pointing, cutting through all the stories, looking reality straight in the eye. The Stoics believed, and this too they taught, better a painful truth than a comfortable lie. So here is the key. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. And once you tell the truth, even just once, the lies lose their power. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to speak one truth, even if your voice shakes. Because truth doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers, I'm still here. And in that moment, you remember who you are. Truth is a mirror, but when it's first shown, we often turn away. Why? Because to see ourselves clearly means we can no longer pretend. And that's terrifying. This section is the fire. It's the part where you stop making excuses, stop blaming the world, stop hiding behind your pain. You stand in front of the mirror, and you see it's raw, it's uncomfortable. It breaks the image you built, but it also breaks the chains. This moment has appeared in every ancient story. The hero entering the cave, the monk sitting in silence, the wanderer lost in the desert, and in all of them, The truth burns, but it also cleanses. Rumi once said, "The wound is where the light enters you," and Carl Jung said, "You do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." This is your shadow, the part of you you've buried. But here's the revelation: the shadow isn't evil, it's just unloved. When you face it, really face it, you don't collapse. You rise, not as the version of you the world wanted, but as the real you, the one who sees clearly and lives freely. So stand in the flame, don't run, because what's burning is everything that was never real to begin with. Let's be honest, telling the truth may break things. It might ruin your perfect image. It might end a relationship. It might force you to walk away from a life you once thought you wanted. But let's ask a deeper question. Is it really destruction? Or is it revelation? In many spiritual traditions, there is a death before rebirth, not of the body, but of the false self. The part of you that played along, that said yes when it meant no, that smiled to survive. When you tell the truth, that part begins to die, and it hurts, because you thought it was you, but it wasn't. It was a mask, and when the mask falls, you may feel exposed, empty, alone. But then something happens. You breathe, you feel, you come alive. Because what you lost was never really yours, and what you find was waiting all along. This is not the end. It's the beginning of a life that feels like yours, not perfect but real, not easy but true, and that is everything. Now imagine this: you wake up one morning and there's nothing left to hide, no mask to wear, no lie to maintain, no weight pressing on your chest. You are who you are, and that is enough. This is the power of truth, not loud, not flashy, but steady, like a mountain. There's a stillness that comes when you stop pretending, a confidence that doesn't need to prove anything. Think of a monk sitting in silence. Think of someone who has walked through the fire and come out whole. That's the kind of strength truth gives you. It's not just about speaking up, it's about being without distortion, without fear. Jiddu Krishnamurti once said, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." When you live honestly, you stop adjusting to what's false, and you begin to create something new, a life built on truth, one moment at a time. Now, we come to the most important part. Your truth, not anyone else's. Not what the world told you to believe, just on yours. Take a moment, be still, and ask yourself, what's the one lie you've been living with? Don't say it out loud, don't explain it. Just see it, bring it into the light, even for a moment, because here's how it begins. You don't need to change your whole life today. You don't need to fix everything, you just need to be honest with yourself. Start with one truth, let it breathe, let it live, and watch what happens. Maybe nothing will look different, but inside something will shift, a door will open, a crack of light will break through, and you'll know you're no longer a prisoner, you're free. What if I told you that the life you're living might be based on lies you never even noticed? Not lies you told others, but lies you've told yourself. Lies about who you are, what you want, what you're capable of. We all build stories to survive. Stories that make us feel safe, accepted, and in control. But over time, those stories become a trap. You forget their stories and start thinking they're truth. This first part pulls you into a deep question. What if the person you think you are isn't really you at all? We'll explore how fear, society, and even love can shape a false identity, and how ruthless honesty, the kind that makes you uncomfortable, might be the only way to break free. This isn't about being mean, it's about being real. And real is the only way out of the cage. All through history, the people who spoke the truth, the raw, uncomfortable truth, were hated, feared, or even killed. Socrates was executed. Mystics were burned. Rebels were cast out. But why? Because the truth shakes things. It disturbs comfort. It burns through the masks people wear. In this part, We'll look at ancient truth-tellers like Diogenes, who mocked power and exposed hypocrisy, like Zen masters who broke logic just to wake people up. These weren't polite people. They were clear, direct, even harsh. But they were free. You'll start to feel a deeper pull. What if this same fire lives in you, waiting to speak? This isn't just a story about the past. It's a call to return to something ancient, something your soul already knows. Most people think lying to yourself is something you'd notice, but the truth is, you almost never do. You lie to feel safe, to protect yourself, to avoid pain. And the most dangerous part? These lies feel normal. You say, "I'm fine," when you're not. You stay in jobs, relationships, lives that quietly hurt you, just because admitting the truth feels too scary. In this section, we explore the hidden lies we tell ourselves every day. We'll talk about something called the shadow, the part of you that holds all the stuff you've been avoiding: fear, anger, regret, shame. Psychologist Carl Jung believed that until you face this shadow, it controls you. But when you're ruthlessly honest, you start to see it clearly, and that's when you start taking your life back. This is the beginning of the real work, seeing what you've been running from and standing still, finally ready to face it.